My name is Lauren Windle, and this is The Good Pod Guide, the podcast that points you in the direction of other podcasts you might enjoy, thus saving you time, research, and brain power. Do you know what? I'm wearing a really old jumper, which is not excellent audio content, I grant you. But for those who are watching, check this out. Paid about $15.99 for this in H&M years ago. Put it in the old charity shop pile a couple of years ago. It was good to go. I was done with it. It had, served its purpose. And then I was walking through an airport, and on a massive billboard poster, I saw a model wearing it. She wasn't advertising for H&M. She was advertising for like a money exchange thing or something. But she looked so happy. She was off on holiday in my jumper. And I just thought, somewhere out there, a stylist has seen that and gone, yeah, that's the right jumper for our advertising campaign. That's a great look. So I dug it back out of the pile and I decided to keep it in the end. If it's good enough for Travelex, it's good enough for me. And actually, that is a shockingly bad story. That's got to rank like quite high in the list of crap stories that I've told on the Good Pod Guide. I feel like I should issue an apology for that. Like, who cares about my jumper that I saw in a Travelex advert? Or maybe not. Maybe that is the kind of content that you're really interested in. And maybe, Jennifer Lawrence will play me in the movie when it gains so much traction. Who knows, eh? All to play for. Anyway, let me tell you about today's podcast. It's called They Walk Among Us. And it is a sinister and at times surreal weekly true crime podcast centering around British crimes. It's narrated in a very flat and almost like robotic newsreader style by a guy called Benjamin Fitton, who co-writes it with his wife, Rosie. Fun fact, they record the podcast from their bedroom. Now, I'm no marriage expert, but I've got some other suggestions for better uses of their bedroom time. Still, each to their own. They cover some reasonably well-known crimes, like who remembers canoe man John Darwin, who faked his own death for the insurance money, or the 1971 Baker Street bank robbery, the cheek of it, right under Sherlock Holmes's nose. They also bring us up to date on some of the big cases, like did you know that Karen Matthews, the woman who reported her daughter Shannon as missing, but really had just hid her under a bed, and this was all in the wake of the Madeleine McCann disappearance. So that mother, Karen, she was released from prison and given a new identity back in 2012, which was brand new information to me. Also, Season 5, Episode 8 is a horrible cautionary tale where they cover the story of someone who was groomed online that sort of turned into a dreadful and violent murder. So that one may be worth checking out as well. There are 50 episodes in total, and they range from 30 minutes to 90 minutes, depending on the crime that you pick. It's won 2 British Podcast Awards for Best True Crime Podcast, and it's truly very good. This is, however, a saturated genre. We have listened to so many of these now, and if I'm honest, they're starting to merge into one, much like Joey's sisters in that early episode of Friends, where Chandler gets drunk and gets off with one of them. I kind of imagine that this is how teachers feel when they've been in a game for a while and eventually like one child is much like the next. Also, specific to this podcast, there is less build-up than in the other true crime podcasts we've listened to. And I think that's because they don't hold back key information and sort of slowly eke it out to build suspense. They just bring you all the facts up front, it's straightforward, but it's less atmospheric. That said, the storytelling is great. The research is robust and thorough, and it's compelling. I'd say it's up there with one of the best true crime podcasts we've done. In the next episode, we debate whether or not Catherine Ryan is actually a national treasure while looking at her podcast, Telling Everybody Everything. More info is available in the show notes, and if you've enjoyed what you've heard, like, subscribe, and leave a positive review.